love that. So tell me, what is that book actually, the theme of that book?
Sure. So just as a exercise for myself, for many years, I've kept a journal that has one thought a day or one lesson a day or one thing that I wanted to take forward a day. And so it's not a matter of like wrapping up the things that happen, but it's the one lesson from the day that I think that is tangible enough that I can take forward with me. And so I took of my several journals. I took 130 of those ideas that are probably more applicable to normal people and not just my crazy brain, and commented on about 30 of them, 35 of them, and wrote an essay about a couple of them, and that's what it'll be. So it'll be a mix of, or it is a mix of single thoughts and also conversations about those single thoughts.
I love that because, I've always struggled with staying into, like I started out speaking in schools.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, yeah, and I mean, to elementary, high, and middle school, God help us all.
Yeah.
And so
Very great.
that was really good training ground. But I started out, knowing that I couldn't make these kids laugh. The only thing that would work was if I tripped and fell flat on my face. I knew
That's
that. So then, and so that was way early in the career. And then I
Mhm.
started realizing, you know what? And I was like with you, oh, that was funny. Oh, okay. And so then people tell you kind of. And so then I started messing with comedy. But here's the point. It took me a long time, Pat, to come up with who I really am. And I felt
Mhm.
like just making people laugh and having that little mental vacation. I love that. And there's a
Yeah.
place for that. But I feel like I've been through stuff
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I just burned to share with people. And so just like the other day when I was with these women and I started thinking, and I do the thing about sweet tea. By the way, every one of my books is a speech title and I just massage it to death. And so I have 3 sweet tea secrets to renew, refresh, relax, or whatever it
Yep.
was at the Palm, whatever I was, a Palm Coast thing.
The punk
And
rock. Yeah.
so so when I got to the season, I thought I just got to talk about some wisdom here because
Yeah.
seasoned people are wise people. And
Mhm.
so I always like to collect wise sayings. And one of them, it's not funny at all, but I think it's so packed with wisdom. And I
Mhm.
heard a minister say this at a conference, and he had just released a book. And he
Mhm.
said that we are born in the likeness of our parents, but we die in the likeness of our decisions. And that
Oh,
just hit me. I said, boy,
yeah.
that's just so here I am making these people laugh. And then all of a sudden I stop and say, let me tell you something very wise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like personally, I can kind of hear that from you, that you feel like you have a gift of comedy and humor, but you've also, with the thinking about the thoughts of your thoughts, it sounds like you're going a little deeper. And I think most of us that entertain, they're definitely the comedy mask of the funny and the tragic. There is a definite spot, I think, where
Yeah.
we overlap.
Yeah. I have been struggling with this release of this book because I don't know why anyone would give a crud what I even think. Never. I mean, I'm growing with that. I'm wrestling with that. But this is probably one of the more egotistical routes I've ever taken in my life. I was just like, oh, I should just write a book because people tell me I need to write a book, and I was like, oh, this is an easy access point for me to do that. I hope it helps somebody. I hope it resonates with somebody. I
Mm-hmm.
hope that somebody out there takes something from it that helps them. Like that's I always ran up against frustrations and problems in Chicago because coming into improv from the Peace Corps route, for me, my job, uh, so I've said this before and I'll just repeat it because it's an easiest way to explain it. I am not Jane. I am not a functioning member of society. Like I'm just not, I know that. And that's fine. I know who I am. Like I am a comedian. Like I'm not somebody who's changing the world. But what I can do is in giving somebody laughter and allowing them to escape themselves for a minute, I allow them to function better. I help them get their chemicals righted so they can do really good things. I am not a brain surgeon. I will never brain surgeon. That's not, I am not even close. But if I can make that brain surgeon giggle, they can brain surgeon at a better brain surgeon level than brain surgeons.
Yeah,
anymore.
sure. You
So
kind of got to know where your gifts lie, and you have to kind of, I say, know what your gifts are, exploit them for service.
yeah, absolutely. And I fully, wholeheartedly agree with that.